Hi, we're going to start on the spotlights in chapter 6. So the first one we're going to do in here is creating the cell phone class. So Wireless Solutions Incorporated is a business that sells cell phones and wireless service. You are a programmer in the company's information technology IT department, and your team is designing a program to manage all the cell phones that are in inventory. You have been asked to design a class that represents a cell phone. The data that should be kept as fields in the class are as follows. The name of the phone's manufacturer will be assigned to the manufacturer, or MANUFACT, I'm going to call it manufacturer field. The phone's model number will be assigned to the model field, and the phone's retail price will be assigned to the retail price field. So this class also has um, the following methods: a constructor that accepts arguments for the manufacturer, model number, and retail price, a SAP manufacturer method that accepts an argument for the manufacturer. This method will allow us to change the value of the manufacturer field after the object has been created if necessary. Set model method that accepts an argument for the model. This method will allow us to change the value of the model field after the object has been created if necessary. A set retail price method that accepts an argument for the retail price. This method will allow us to change the value of the retail price field after the object has been created if necessary. We'll have a get manufacturer method that returns the phone's manufacturer, get model method that returns the phone's model number, and get retail price method that returns the phone's retail price. So here's a UML diagram that shows you the three objects or three attributes, and then the methods that are going to be working on those attributes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this created. I'm going to bring up Visual Studio Code, open the folder, switch over to my chapter 6 here. I've got the folder already set here for cell phone. And then we want to start a new file. We're going to call this file cellphone.java. So we'll start off with public class cell phone. And then set up our attributes. Set private string MANUFACT. Don't know what happened with all that. Let's do this again. Private string MANUFACT. Private. Oops. String model and private double retail price. Okay, we got an extra one of these in here. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so we want to do our constructor. So I have public cell phone string MAN for the manufacturer, string MOD for the model, and double for the price. Manufacturer is going to be equal to MAN. Model is going to be equal to MOD. And retail price is going to be equal to price. Okay. That's our constructor. Notice that the name of the constructor is the same name as the class. so after that, then what we're going to do is our set manufacturer, public void passing in a string man. All we're going to do here is man ufact is going to be equal to man. And then we'll have our set model. Passing in the string mod, and then this is going to be the same thing. Mod is going to be equal to, or model is going to be equal to mod. Okay. And then we'll have our set retail price. Passing in a double price. So it's going to be retail price is going to be equal to price. Okay, then we would need to, those are what are called setters or mutators, because we're changing the value of those. Then these next ones are called getters or accessors, because they're going to be returning the value. So we're going to do a public string, because that's the value we're returning, get manufacturer, and then we're just going to return MANUFACT. Okay. And then we'll do a public string get model, and then it's going to return model. And then we'll have a public double get retail price, and it's going to return retail price. Okay, so that's the entire class there. I'm going to go ahead and do a file save, so it's saved out there. Okay, so what we're going to do next is this over here. So the cell phone class will be used by several programs that your team is developing. To perform a simple test of the class, you write the program shown in figure code listing 613. This is a simple program that prompts the user for the phone's manufacturer, model number, and retail price. An instance of the cell phone class is created and the data is assigned to its attributes. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one. Okay, so this is going to be a new file. So I'm going to go up here and do new file. Name of the file is going to be called cell phone test. And don't forget your .java. Going to save it into the same location. We need to import the scanner. And then set up our class. And now we're going to have our main. Okay, so in here what we're going to do is we're going to have our three variables, two strings, test MAN, and test MOD, and then we're going to have a double for test price. Set up our scanner object. And then ask them to enter these values that we need here. So system.out.print, enter the manufacturer, and then our test MAN is going to be equal to keyboard dot next line. And then we need to enter the model number. And that's going to be our test MOD. It's going to be equal to keyboard dot next line. And then enter the retail price. Oops. And that's going to be our test price equal to keyboard dot next double. Okay. So now we got all those entered. What we want to do is create an object of our cell phone class. So cell phone phone equals new cell phone. Passing in our test MAN, our test MOD, whoops, MOD, and our test price. Yeah, let me get rid of this thing again. So we're just going to do a print, bunch of print statements to print all this stuff out. So we're going to do a print line with nothing in it, so we can do a blank line on that. So it's going to be here's the data that you provided. First one then is going to be manufacturer, colon space, end quote, plus phone dot get manufacturer. Then system.out.print line, model number. So phone.get model, and that's underlined there, so I've got something misspelled someplace. Go back over to my cell phone, make sure I got that right on here. Yep, there's where it is. I got an uppercase O there that shouldn't have been there, so I need to go ahead and resave this. And then I'll come back over here. I like to correct these as I go along. It makes it a little bit easier than doing them all at one time. And then this is the retail price. Okay, that should do it. So let's go ahead and run this and see if we got any other errors in here I may have missed. Okay, so it wants the manufacturer, and I've got some data here that I'm going to put in here. Got Acme Electronics. Model is M1000, and the retail price is $199.99. Do that, and there we go. We got the manufacturer is Acme Electronics, model number M1000, and retail price $199.99. So this is creating a class and using it. It's not anything fancy on here, but what you can end up doing with this is using a loop to run through it to enter all the data, saving them into a class object, and then saving that class object into like an array or something that we haven't done yet. But then you have all these in there as objects of this class and have them together to be able to process them that way.